Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Let me double check, make sure I have everything right here. Yeah, check that, double check. Don't want to make a mistake on this one. So, no, I think it's pretty safe to say it's Friday!
Yay!
Whew, man, you can say that again.
Yay!
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's kind of fun to be able to watch Danielle when she has to press all those buttons. Come on, Danielle. You're not getting tired of that, are you? It's only every Friday.
No, I'm not. I do a little shake when I do it. A little shimmy.
I guess I misread the shake or shimmy. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, it's not the first time I've misread a woman's shake or shimmy.
Oh, no.
Ah, boy. All right, we're here, and it is Friday, and we're raring to go on this 15th of May. Payday for many, which is always a very good thing. Our executive producer, Mike Parsons, Danielle Mason, pressing all the switches, the queen of the switches, Rich Luzinski, keeping an eye on our WJR traffic and weather first. Of course, it's Friday. Dave Rieger finally has a good job, and he will be doing Rieger Reviews It.
Now,
yes?
a little programming note.
Uh-oh.
Dave will be on the phone because he's currently holding a garage sale. So he'll be multitasking.
You know, in all my years at WJR, and I've had about 50 altogether, the 30, 28, 29 of the morning show, but many years before that, about 50 some years of involved. I think the only other person who's been here longer or as long is Ann Thomas, coming right out of MSU. But okay, in all of my time here, and all of the excuses I've heard for someone not being on the air studio-wise, I can safely say this, never heard anyone say, I'm going to have to do my part on the phone because I'm having a garage sale.
Well, we like to keep it exciting. I hope we catch him in the middle of somebody like haggling with him over a DVD player or something.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't step away. He just stays put just in case.
I hope he doesn't give away, like you read in these stories, somebody buys a Picasso for $1.50 and then finds out it's worth $25 million.
Right.
I wouldn't hope that for anybody.
Yeah. So there's a lot of excitement leading up to this Friday's Rieger Reviews It, I suppose.
I'm excited too. And though this is a Friday and we celebrate it like tomorrow and Sunday are days off, I'm working tomorrow, but I'm happily doing that because I get to follow the great guys, the inside-outside guys that we're so lucky to have on WJR on weekends. Tomorrow, 10 to noon, and then me noon to 1, and we're on location at yet another very, very good Victor's Roof giveaway, which is a wonderful thing that Victor Somalian does with Victor's Home Solutions that he does not have to do. And when we tell you the number of roofs he's given away, it is mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They give away a lot of roofs because I forget. They do it by volume. So for however
Every
many,
X number of roofs they've done, they do another giveaway, and it's astonishing.
Yeah, it's a very regular, it happens on a very regular basis because they do such volume, and then they pay it forward into the community.
Absolutely right. So Bob Wojnowski, they call him Wojo, I think.
Wojo, yeah.
I don't know if he writes his own headlines. I don't get to write my own headlines. Some of these guys do, some don't. Recovering from historic Game 5 collapse will be difficult for our Detroit Pistons tonight in Cleveland on Amazon Prime. Glad when that goes away.
Right.
And goes to Channel 20 for all their games. But this is he talks about the 9-point lead with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter that evaporated in a mess of missed defensive assignments, blown opportunities, and, of course, that blown call. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the NBA's a very funny league because one night one team blows one team out, then the next night it's reversed. I don't know. I mean, the Pistons look snake bit in that last fourth quarter and the overtime period, and it kind of reminds me of when it looked like the Orlando Magic had us beaten, and then and then they had that really bad quarter, and then we closed out the series. But the Pistons remind me of the Magic in this scenario. So hopefully, Cade gets some help. I think that's the big thing. It seems like Cleveland has figured out that if they double team Cade, there's nobody else on this team stepping up, and if nobody steps up, then
can't have a one-player team.
I mean, if anything, it makes his case for being MVP, because if he's neutralized, literally nobody else steps up. So
just above Wojo's column, Chris McCoskey has a column. It says snake bit Tigers lose third straight to Mets.
Oh yeah,
or as Courtney calls them, the Metropolitans. When he said that, I went, who?
He also calls the Yankees the Stankies.
The Stankies.
Yeah.
Well, that one I know, because he always called them the Stankies in the morning show.
Yeah, this Tigers.
And the Metropolitans beat the Tigers. I go, what?
Sounds like a nice baseball, the Metropolitans. This Tigers team has just been a roller coaster all season. And snake bit, injury bit. There were some good moves made in the offseason, but a lot of these moves have been injured. So hopefully everybody comes back in time for a push to the postseason. It sounds like Tarek Skubal will be back sooner than originally anticipated. I don't know about Justin Verlander, though, but Justin Verlander was kind of like a nice fifth option. So I think once Skubal comes back, we'll get this thing back on track.
Win, lose, or draw, and I hope we win, but it was a nice feeling to welcome him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it was the smartest move, I don't know, because I don't follow that stuff, and I'm not going to pretend to know, but I thought it was a great feel.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody liked it, because we had Tarek Skubal, who is as dominant as Justin Verlander was his first time around. We got Framber Valdez, who was supposed to be a good number 2. And so bringing Justin Verlander back, I think he came back for a little bit of a discount because he wanted to finish out his career here with the Tigers. So everybody liked it. They knew that obviously Justin Verlander is not the dominant pitcher he used to be, but he could be a good fifth option. So hopefully he gets some time with us this season, and we can get back on track of the Justin Verlander feel-good tour.
I just spoke to the boss, Gary Miles. That's the boss of my one-day-a-week job, my Monday column in the Detroit News.
Your side gig.
Yeah, my side gig. That and delivering food through Uber Eats. But Gary Miles, the boss, the editor and publisher of the Detroit News, I just called him and congratulated the Detroit News Newspaper of the Year for the 4th consecutive year from the Michigan Press Association. That's fabulous.
All right.
Many of the folks who make appearances on our show, and we're appreciative of that, Craig Mauger is at the top of the story, best FOIA story, the Freedom of Information Act on the Michigan school districts pack kids into classrooms as reading scores falter. But a lot of the folks that join us, best editorial, news editorials on President Trump, Democrats, education reform, that would be our friends Nolan Finley, Caitlin Buss, Nicole Cook, best columnist Daniel Howes, other award winners in sports writing, John Nio, Angelique S. Shangelis on the U of M, of course, always. Public Service Award, Baydoun Scandal Unfolds, Beth LeBlanc, Francis X. Donnelly, been there forever, best writing feature story, Adam Graham, Kirk Gibson keeps on swinging. Tony Paul. I can't go through all of them, but
they cleaned up.
They had some wonderful awards, and they work very hard. And if there's any business harder than the radio business, or at least as hard as the radio business, it's the newspaper business. It's gone through so many changes as our business. But we're underway, and it's relentless positive radio day, as it is every day, on your way to making each and every day count. Each day is a gift, and thanks for choosing to be a really important part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio. We're in focus. We're underway on WJR.
There's no place in America better to play golf in the summer than right here in Michigan, and we celebrate that reality every week on Michigan Golf Live. Join us Saturday evenings at 6 for Michigan Golf Live here on WJR.
It's Ryan Armani. I'm with Eric from Paramount Roofing, giving you 5 tips when hiring a contractor this spring.
Check to see that they are verified with proper licensing and insurance. Check their online reviews, number of years in business, and do they require a deposit and have a warranty. At Paramount Roofing, we give you a 5-star experience on every project with no deposit required.
Schedule that roof replacement now and get 5 years, 0% interest financing at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management, and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now. 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Hi, we're Chuck and Ken, the Inside Outside Guys. Years ago, we started the InsideOutsideGuys.com for one simple reason. Homeowners needed a place they could trust.
So we built a source connecting Michigan homeowners with proven professionals.
Michigan homeowners, why wait to upgrade your home? Right now, Weather Seal Home Improvements, Michigan's trusted, proven roofing contractor, is offering 50% off your roof installation. Roofing, siding, windows, and more done right the first time. Backed by experience you can trust. And here's the best part. Getting started is easy. Visit WeatherSealHomeImprovements.com for your free estimate. Or just grab your phone and dial pound 250 and say Weather Seal. That's pound 250 and say Weather Seal to get an instant estimate directly from the owner. No hassle, no pressure, just real answers. Fast with Weather Seal Home Improvements.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
We have an accident involving 3 vehicles on 7 Mile just west of Middle Belt. Look out for a wreck on I-94 eastbound before North River Road. You're slow from Shook Road there. Some stop and go on I-75 southbound between Front Street and Otter Creek Road. Due to construction, your roadway is reduced to 3 lanes. Watch out for a crash on Livernois at 7 Mile. And West Maple Avenue closed in both directions between I-75 and Van Slyke Road due to a structure fire. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 71. A few passing clouds for tonight, a low of 55. Morning thunderstorms for Saturday. Cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 78. A mix of sun and clouds Sunday with a high near 80. Right now, mostly cloudy, 63 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Coming in June, the biggest birthday party in history. America 250. Michigan made from 760. WJR.
Good Friday to you with Relentless Positive Radio, doing our best under trying times. We have some great guests catching up with a great guest that we haven't talked to in a long while. It's Tom Watkins. He's Director, President, and CEO of TDW and Associates, which happens to be a U.S.-China business and education consulting firm. We've talked to Tom about so many different things, but really keyed in on China over the last several years because he is probably the foremost American Chinese expert. I've been to China 4 or 5 times. I can't remember what it is. I'd have to think, and I don't like to think. But he's been there multiple times. He and I have different stands on China, but I like to hear what he has to say. And I certainly want to hear, Tom, what you have to say regarding this latest visit between our President Trump and their Chinese president, or premier, if you will, Xi Jinping. Welcome back. Good afternoon, Tom.
It's good to be with you, Paul W. And yeah, this is a major meeting that took place between our two presidents. And it's good news. The leaders of the top 2 superpowers that control the world economically, militarily, technologically, and ideologically, that they're talking, and they have plans to continue to talk. President Trump has invited President Xi back to the U.S. There's not a lot of substantive news that have come out of this visit in terms of what they're going to do. That will be rolled out over the next few weeks, I believe. But what we're witnessing is China and the U.S. continually having strategic kind of a frenemy, as some people would say. And what I propose for years now, going back a few decades, is that the China and U.S. need to continue and to follow what I call the 7 C's, and that is communication, open and high level and subnationally, mayors and superintendents of schools and university presidents, collaboration, cooperation, coordination, competition, and working to avoid confrontation and conflict. One word that came out of yesterday's meeting will be heard more and more, and that is the Thucydides trap. And what that means is, historically, when a rising power bumps up against an existing power,
this is a word I have to interrupt you, because this is a word you taught me, because I'd never heard it before, but I now have heard it in stories here, and our listeners may have too, called, I'm going to try to pronounce it, Thucydides.
Yes, absolutely. And it's something that I've talked about for a long time, because what we have been facing is assuring that China's rise, and it has been continually to rise, does not come at the U.S. and the West demise. And I've argued for years that the best defense on that and our offense is investing in America and American people. When we do that, there's nothing that we cannot accomplish.
Here's what worries me, and where you and I part company. I think you trust them a lot more than I trust them, meaning trust China. When they say they're going to do something, or say they'll do this or not do this or whatever, I just don't trust them. I think you do.
No, I really don't, Paul W. I look at life through a clear lens. Trust and verify. We have to engage with China. What is the other option? China's not going away, and neither are we. And so what we need to do is to do what I just said, is to have open and clear communication, and realize, as I've said before, I'm an old boxer. And when I got in the ring, even with my best friend, I was there to win. So be very clear-eyed about it. China wants to get back to what they call Fenghua, or their wealth and power. Most of the 20-plus centuries, China was the number one nation in the world. It's the last 2 or 3 centuries where the West has surpassed them. The 100 years between 1849 in 1949 when the Chinese Communist Party came to power are viewed as the century of humiliation for the Chinese people. So they've been struggling for a long time to come back to where they believe they belong, is the Middle Kingdom, the center of the universe.
I go back to what you said to us years ago, Tom Watkins, Director, President, CEO of TDW and Associates, a U.S.-China business and education consulting firm. You said it a long time ago, and it's so true. What happens in China does not stay in China, not anymore, not in this world. And a lot happens in China, and we give them a lot of business. The one that worries me the most is if they just, it used to be the generic drugs, which is why I didn't take them. They were all made in China. Well, now all of our pharmaceuticals, even the brand names, I think most of them, many of them are made in China, and they could cut us off, and it could be life or death for many people. That's the kind of power we've given them, and I think that's a huge mistake.
Well, there's a lot of mistakes that we continue to make. I mean, the fact that we continue with our forever wars, spending $1 trillion over the last couple of decades on wars, and what China has been doing is investing, as you know, in bullet trains and infrastructure and education and research and development. And they used to be viewed as making low-grade, cheap manufacturing stuff. Those days are gone. I mean, China is looking neck and neck with us on AI, which is going to be the driving force come the 21st century. We're truly at an inflection point when it comes to China. And I fear what we're witnessing is kind of a Kentucky Derby golden tempo long shot come from behind from last to first victory over the United States of America if we don't get really serious about assuring that we can compete with a rising power.
And to be serious, we can't just have our president saying, "Oh, well, we're so out front in AI. I mean, there's no one close." Or in robotics, after he just saw what he saw in China, he cannot say those things with a straight face to us.
We are struggling, and we should be acting as though this is a Sputnik moment, that we're far behind and we need to keep up. We need to catch up. If we don't, we're going to see that theory, that concept of a historical rising power bumping up an existing power. And we gotta, God forbid, hope that is not solved by war, because our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren will pay the price.
Here's hoping that some way we can work things out with Taiwan without push coming to shove. Tom Watkins, how many times now have you been to China?
Well, I've lost count, Paul W. The first trip to China were 2 times in 1989. I stood with students in Tiananmen Square in 1989 where they asked me to describe democracy, describe freedom. And we all, as we get ready to celebrate our 250th Declaration of Independence, ought to be reflecting on that question. How do we define democracy? How do we define freedom for the United States of America?
Tom Watkins, Director, President, CEO of TDW and Associates. Thanks, Tom. Always a pleasure.
Good to be with you. Thank you, Paul.
I must say, even though I don't have any urge to go back to China ever, because I just don't feel comfortable anymore with that, I can tell you, seeing the pictures, knowing that I stood there in the Forbidden City and Tiananmen Square and all of that, it was good to see all that. It made me just a little bit I don't know what's the word I want, but it was, the trips I made were very good trips. It's just, there's just something wrong there. Communism, for one, and the way things are so controlled and the way they look at us. The people seem to like us as best they could without getting in trouble. But that's another story, a longer conversation, as we continue at 12:29 at WJR. It's Friday, so you know what that means. That means that we have automotive views. And it's brought to you by Bridgestone, and I like to say David Coletti's team, Bridgestone. Bridgestone, no matter what the next generation of mobility will be, it will be on wheels, and Bridgestone will be there. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Here's Mike Martinez.
Some automotive partnerships feel forced, but a recent tie-up between two Detroit institutions makes a whole lot of sense. Ford has teamed up with Carhartt for a new appearance package on certain trims of 2027 Super Duty pickups. It's a perfect match, one of the leading workwear brands collaborating with Ford on the workhorse of its vehicle lineup. The truck comes with special badging, seat materials, floor mats, and wheels crafted to look like Detroit manhole covers. The floor mats are patterned after Carhartt's newest tool bag, and the seats feature the same stitching pattern found on Carhartt clothes. The pickup alone is cool, but the two companies' partnership goes even deeper. Carhartt is supplying uniforms for aspiring Ford dealership technicians. The two companies also recently opened a Detroit outpost for Toolbank USA, which lends tools for skilled trades, community revitalization projects, and disaster relief. It's the type of community-focused collaboration other brands should emulate. With this week's Automotive View, I'm Mike Martinez with Automotive News.
People say we should live in the present, but that doesn't mean we can't drive toward a brighter future. That's why Bridgestone is focused on positively impacting the next generation by developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. Because getting people down the road matters, but getting future generations down the road, that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more. The catcher. Squatting behind home, keeping those wild pitches from getting by. A good roof does the same. It protects a home from wild Michigan weather. An inferior catcher may cost you the game, but a bad roof may cost you your homeowner's insurance. If you or a loved one receives a letter from your insurance company regarding the age of your roof and your policy, don't wait. Act immediately. American Standard Roofing offers senior discounts or 0% interest for those who qualify. Protect your home team and visit AmericanStandardRoofing.com.
Summer is just around the corner, and it's time to make sure your air conditioner is ready to keep your home cool. Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, reminding you to schedule your summer service today. Our expert technicians will clean and check your air conditioning and make sure everything is running properly, so you can head into the warm weather worry-free. Don't wait for the heat to hit. For a worry-free home, visit FamilyHeating.com to find the location near you and call to schedule your summer service today.
Michigan students planning for future in business, here's an opportunity you won't want to miss. Shelving.com is now accepting applications for its 2026 Business Scholarship. Founded in Michigan and still proudly headquartered in Madison Heights, celebrating 12 years of supporting Michigan's next generation of business leaders. As a family-owned company that stayed true to its local roots, Shelving.com is committed to investing in the communities it calls home. This year, 3 students will receive scholarships, including a $4,000 grand prize, along with awards for 2 additional finalists. The program is open to Michigan residents pursuing a business-related field of study, as well as high school seniors enrolled to begin their studies. Applicants should have a strong academic record and a clear vision for how they'll use their education to make a positive impact. At Shelving.com, investing in students means investing in the future of our local business community and the leaders who will shape it. Applications are open now through July 2nd. To learn more or apply, visit Shelving.com.
We wreck your world.
Michigan, it's time to hit the links for a legendary cause. The All-Pro Legend is back. The 2nd annual Lomas Brown Golf Classic. Last year was just a warm-up. Monday, July 13th, join Lomas and his celebrity crew for a premier day of golf, networking, and community impact. Every swing helps the Lomas Brown Jr. Foundation empower our youth through education and fitness. Don't get left in the rough. Register your foursome or secure your sponsorship now at LomasBrownGolfClassic.com. And see you on the fairway.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
It's the Inside Outside Guys. Time for your home's annual checkup.
Start by checking your roof for missing shingles. Make sure downspouts are moving water away from your foundation.
And don't forget to inspect all that caulking around your windows and doors. Small gaps can mean big energy losses.
For the area's most trusted contractors to help you with your next home project, visit guys at InsideOutsideGuys.com. That's InsideOutsideGuys.com.
Sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements.
Is your home ready for an exterior upgrade? New siding and gutters can completely transform the look of your home while protecting it from Michigan's tough weather. Right now at Weather Seal Home Improvements, when you choose new siding or gutters, you'll receive a $500 gas card. That's a beautiful, durable upgrade for your home and money back in your pocket at the pump. Now that's a good deal. Trust the experts at Weather Seal Home Improvements. Schedule a free estimate today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. That's weathersealhomeimprovements.net. Terms and conditions apply.
JR Morning. Chris, Jamie, and Lloyd with the stories that matter to you.
Chris Alberta joins us, the president of Principium Tactical Wealth Management. Is that your message to your clients, is just stay the course?
There's a tremendous opportunity for growth. I mean, I always give the baseball analogy, like a money manager's job is to swing the bat hard when there's a fastball over the plate. When you start getting wild pitches, you need to step away and just take a walk. We've gotten a lot of fastballs over the plate over the last few years, despite the fact that the pitcher looked like a drunk, crazy lunatic who was like wobbling off the mound. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, but you have to swing the bat if you want to score runs, and that's what's been happening.
JR Morning, 6 to 9 on 760 WJR. Thanks for listening to WJR and Focus. Here's Paul W. Smith.
Well, if I needed any reason to not like Kamala Harris anymore, it would be what I just saw on the screen here. She's got a no bad ideas playbook. Well, she's stealing from our friend, from our local author, speaker, all-around good guy, JT Mehta, and his book, one of his books, No Bad Days. So she's got now no bad ideas, but she and her team clearly can't come up with anything original. Hope she runs. Boy, do I hope she runs. All right, 12:36 in Focus on Friday. Senators unanimously approving a resolution yesterday to withhold their pay during government shutdowns. My God, it's about time. This is an attempt to make federal closures financially painful for the guys who make it happen, the guys and gals, the lawmakers, after a string of record-breaking impasses in the past year. Let's get a professional opinion on that from Dennis Darnoy, founder of Denzar Consulting, as the Senate votes to withhold their own pay during future government shutdowns. Dennis, I can only say it's about time. What do you say?
Well, it certainly is, and thanks for having me on, Paul W. I appreciate it. But yeah, yesterday the Senate unanimously passed a resolution to withhold their own pay, and what they were able to do is to use an internal loophole, so that they changed internal office rules to put their money into escrow while there is a shutdown. And then once that shutdown is done, then they would have that money released from escrow and receive it again. Now, it should be pointed out that if there is let's say a shutdown in October of this year, that new resolution would not apply because there is a rule in the 27th Amendment that says neither chamber, the House or the Senate, can permanently cancel or alter their current term's pay. So this won't take effect until November 3rd. Yeah, I know. Sorry to be that little,
always
there.
Always a loophole. Always a way out. Are you kidding me?
No. So that is the 27th Amendment, but they did. I mean, again, yes, they did vote on this, and it will take effect with the next Senate that comes in.
All right. Good news. Relentless Positive Radio. Good news. Bipartisan support. This cannot be claimed by the Republicans or the Democrats as a victory. It was both of them who saw the light, as well they should. And I love Senator John Kennedy, the bill's sponsor. he could read the phone book to me and I would be rapt in attention because he's just so clever the way he speaks. But he said, shutting down government should not be our default solution to our refusal to work out our issues and our differences. Amen, Senator Kennedy. He says, again, this is about putting our money where our mouth is. And again, I say, here, here, there. Absolutely correct. If I'm not wrong, Dennis Darnoy, founder of Denzar Consulting, lawmakers have talked about this before but haven't done it. And senators earn an annual salary of about $174,000, but many of them, just the way it is, many of them are independently wealthy anyway.
Yes, it is. It is a very, very wealthy club. And if we can somehow start to now work on trading of stocks while they're in office, I'd like to see that as well.
You're right on there, Dennis. I was just writing down. Now, what about inside trading? Now, I mean, because when I said they make $174,000, many are independently wealthy. Many of them became independently wealthy as they were supposedly serving the people, and this has got to be fixed. This inside trading. Then they'll really get my attention if they take that opportunity away.
Yeah, certainly that would be a next step. But as you pointed out, I mean, Senator Kennedy said specifically that the reason he put forth this resolution is he wants there to be shared sacrifice, because many of the federal employees and military members, when there is a shutdown, they often go without pay during these funding lapses. And so for the senators to sit there, be the cause of this problem, and yet continue to receive the paycheck just was an untenable position. And as you said, he very eloquently explained why this needed to happen. And again, thankfully, it was unanimous and bipartisan. And hopefully now the House will adopt something very similar.
Well, good for you for bringing that up, too, because you're talking about, for those workers, the federal workers, significant financial hardship for tens of thousands of federal workers, especially recently the Department of Homeland Security, which has been so mishandled and then therefore misread by making them look like stormtroopers and all the other stuff that they never should have done. But then we do have governors and mayors in ridiculous sanctuary cities that don't participate and uphold federal law. We need to deal with that with a stronger hand as well. And I know who to call if we get involved in any of that. It would be you, Dennis Darnoy, founder of Denzar Consulting. Thanks for your help.
Well, thank you very much, and have a wonderful weekend.
You have a great weekend as well. As we continue, Paul W. Smith, In Focus, relentless positive radio, on your way to making each and every day count. And thanks for choosing to be an important part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio. You're tuned in to WJR. One of the great things about my job is helping people, whether it's finding the right roofer or somebody to put up an awning or somebody to come into your home and make sure your heating and air conditioning is working properly and is ready for the season. Yeah, all these things. But here's one that's so very important for when you are no longer here. It's about probate. And the little education that we should have here is that we should know simply probate is bad. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's completely public. But the good news is that I get to share with you is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. And I guess it's my job to convince you, you do need one. Look, you and I grew up thinking that's trust. What? That's for rich people. No, it's for any of us who've worked our behinds off and have accomplished and saved a little something we'd like our family to have when we're gone. And a revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life to their clients. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation. Learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. Call them at 248-435-0400. That's 248-435-0400, or go to EPLSPC.com. Now, that's a mouthful, but it's Estate Planning Legal Services PC.com. EPLSPC.com, or call them at 248-435-0400. Don't put this off. Nobody knows how much QTR, quality time remaining, we have, and we want to be prepared to make sure our family is well taken care of the way we want them to be taken care of. 12:45 with Paul W. Smith in Focus on WJR.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-777-1979, 800-777-1979, or biglou.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Hi, we're Chuck and Ken, the Inside Outside Guys. Years ago, we started the InsideOutsideGuys.com for one simple reason. Homeowners needed a place they could trust.
So we built a source connecting Michigan homeowners with proven professionals.
Michigan homeowners, why wait to upgrade your home? Right now, Weather Seal Home Improvements, Michigan's trusted, proven roofing contractor, is offering 50% off your roof installation. Roofing, siding, windows, and more done right the first time. Backed by experience you can trust. And here's the best part. Getting started is easy. Visit WeatherSealHomeImprovements.com for your free estimate, or just grab your phone and dial pound 250 and say Weather Seal. That's pound 250 and say Weather Seal to get an instant estimate directly from the owner. No hassle, no pressure, just real answers. Fast with Weather Seal Home Improvements.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. We're all glad to finally be able to enjoy walks, golf, pickleball, and other activities outside. Don't let severe or chronic back, neck, or knee pain get in the way of you doing the things you love. Call my friend Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Thousands of people have reduced or eliminated their pain thanks to his gentle, relaxing, non-invasive, and best of all, non-surgical intra-disc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments that stimulate the body's natural healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your hands, arms, and legs, osteoarthritis, or meniscus tears, Dr. Kogan can help you. Mention WJR in May to receive a consultation, exam, x-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC, 586-416-3472.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Marygrove Awnings. 48 hours you could be sitting in the shade this week. Marygrove, motorized, no crank, built in Detroit for over 90 years. Book your free appointment now at marygrove.com or by calling 1-800-44-AWNING. Watch out for a crash on Livernois at 7 Mile. We picked up a wreck on 8 Mile at Green Lawn Street. And we do have some stop and go on I-75 southbound between Front Street and Otter Creek Road. Due to construction, your roadway is reduced to 3 lanes there. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 71. A few passing clouds for tonight, a low of 55. Morning thunderstorms for Saturday. Cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 78. A mix of sun and clouds Sunday with a high near 80. Right now, mostly cloudy, 63 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Thanks to Art and Mary Ashley, I once again got to come and visit and celebrate one of my favorite person's birthdays. That's Candace Miller, Macomb County Public Works Commissioner. Everything she's ever done in public service, which is a lot, has been great. She could run for any office, anytime, and win. That aside, it is a pleasure to have her here, not to talk about water problems and damage, although I did want to get up on the stage when she pointed me out to the crowd this week. I wanted to say, Candace has to leave early to go fix the Oakland County water problem. I thought I would have gotten a good laugh on that one. And I think when I said it to you, Candace, you laughed as well.
I did laugh. Fortunately, they were really on that thing. And everything that could go right went right, apparently. They had a great contractor. They got in there. They had no problem replacing the pipe. And it happened a lot quicker than they thought by about half the time. But that, not to go on that about that issue, but that particular issue, you know, I do the sewers, I don't do the water, but my chief deputy was appointed by Mark Hackle to represent all of Macomb County on the Great Lakes Water Authority. So I'm up to speed on all this stuff because of him. But there's actually about 100 miles of that particular water pipe around southeast Michigan. It was put back in the 70s, and it's got some sort of manufacturing anomaly. And I'm telling you, if that stuff is, talk about a ticking time bomb, it's a problem. It's going to be happening more and more.
Our friend long ago on my morning show, L. Brooks Patterson, blew the alarm on this, saying, we're talking, this is when billions meant something. He said, we're not talking millions, Paul. We're talking billions of dollars underground of our infrastructure that's going to have to be dealt with. And he was absolutely right. You're talking about a company that had guaranteed this work would last 100 years. It made it maybe to 50. And the problem is, when I asked about a warranty or guarantee, that company's out of business.
Well, yeah, after 50 years, that's a problem. And apparently what's happening is the bands that hold the pipe together are just exploding. And there's already, you know, there was a couple of these that happened in Farmington, Novi. We had one in Chesterfield. There was one up in St. Clair County, Birchville Township. That pipe, you know, supplied water to northern Macomb County. So this is a problem. And as you're talking about billions, I think it's about 20 million a mile to fix, even if you had all the money. So yeah, $2 billion right there just to fix this water main pipe.
Well, you have already started work on your responsibility, the sanitary sewer pipe, on the heels of that water main break in Oakland County. But like I say, you were already involved with the critical rehabilitation work. And I'm not surprised. God bless you. You're trying to avoid sinkholes and collapsing pipes and all of that. You had been quoted as saying, as the Macomb County Public Works Commissioner, Candace Miller, that you lost about 1.5 inches of the concrete pipe that was just eaten away.
Yeah, that's what happens with, now in this case, of course, we're not talking about fresh water or drinking water, but the wastewater. So, it agitates, right? It's flowing, it's agitating. And as that's happening, it releases an element called H2S, which is hydrogen sulfide. And this is something that is really severely degrades concrete. And of course, all these old sewer pipes are all made out of concrete. So yeah, we're in the midst of, I've actually spent now about $100 million rehabilitating our major interceptor in Macomb County over the last 10 years since we had that sinkhole on 15 Mile. The thing runs all the way up 15 Mile. And this last stretch that we're doing is from Groesbeck to Gratiot. So, I mean, there's a lot of pipe down there. And if you looked at the pictures, you'd have nightmares. So there's nothing magical about this. You need to get into your underground. You have to inspect it. You have to put together a capital improvements plan, and then you have to work the plan. I mean, within your budget, of course. You can't just say, okay, here's $100 million. But we've been very successful, fortunately, in raising a lot of money. And most of this has been paid for by federal dollars, state dollars, county dollars. So we've had great partnerships. And then we didn't have to pass this stuff along to the ratepayers. But it has to be fixed or you can have another sinkhole. So, that's my job. And it's what we're trying to do. So people don't have to worry about that. We're just taking care of business.
You take your business very seriously. And I don't want it to slip by what you just said. That work will not result in a sewer rate increase. This steel reinforced concrete pipe known as the 15 Mile interceptor. There's been severe corrosion from that sewer gas that maybe people didn't even know about when these things were put in. The gas, the hydrogen sulfide that is created by turbulence of the sanitary sewage flow. What products are they using now, 50 years later, if not the concrete pipes, or is that still the go-to material, the concrete pipes?
Well, it depends on what kind of pipe you're putting in. Now, for all of this, I just told you, we did all of this rehabilitation and relining of the pipe along 15 Mile. In those sections, we are using, we call them sticks. So we put in 20-foot or 10-foot sticks all the way along of Hobas, Hobas, which is a sort of it's like a polyamide. It's like a polymer type of a thing. It's very thick. It's completely impervious. And they tell you that its life expectancy is like into infinity. I'm not sure about that, but
oh boy,
it's way better than concrete. And that's one of the things that we look for every day, because we're spending a lot of money in our department. And I want people to have a high degree of confidence that we're not just rat holing their money, to get through the next 5 or 10 years, that we're doing this, generationally, so that our children and our grandchildren don't have to worry about this for quite a long time. And,
Madam Commissioner,
so we feel good about that.
Well, we know how good you are at doing what you do, and we know that's what your aim is. Macomb County Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller just had a birthday not too long ago, big celebration at Palazzo Grande or Grande. And I can tell you from my personal experience, seeing her, speaking with her, you look great, and it looks like you feel great. And I hope that's true. Thanks for being with us again.
Thanks so much, Paul W. Appreciate it.
Candace Miller with Paul W. Smith on WJR.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
When disasters hit and cell networks fail, Rapid Radios keeps you connected. Instant push-to-talk with coast-to-coast range. No contracts, no monthly bills. Trusted by law enforcement, government agencies, and over 500,000 users. Always ready when your phone isn't. Because in an emergency, Seconds matter, and reliability isn't optional. Go to rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for 5% off and free shipping from Michigan. Rapid Radios. Communication redefined.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management, and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
The summit's over. Now, the hard part. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. President Trump and China's President Xi are hailing the two-day Beijing summit as a success. Trump telling reporters on Air Force One.
Amazing period of time. President Xi's an incredible guy.
That statement on White House video, though, does not reveal the stark difference in what success means to each side.
There's also a lot of talk about what will come next in terms of business deals. In terms of foreign policy, which I think was dominating out of this, the president made it quite clear that China saw Taiwan as the number one issue on its agenda. And the president saying he made no firm commitments one way or the other about how the U.S. would act in the future if, and that's the big if at this point, of course, China were to act on Taiwan.
Fox's Mark Meredith. The Justice Department stated in a court filing today it plans to seek the death penalty for the man charged with killing of 2 Israeli embassy staff members in Washington outside a Jewish museum. Elias Rodriguez faces federal hate and murder charges in the killing of Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram last May. Tennessee's only Democrat in Congress ends his re-election bid after the state redrew districts to favor Republicans. Congressman Steve Cohen calls it the toughest decision he's made since taking office.
I don't want to quit. I'm not a quitter. But these districts were drawn to beat me. They were drawn to defeat me.
The 76-year-old has served for almost 2 decades in Congress. Rep. Cohen's decision, a day after a judge denied a temporary restraining order request to block Tennessee's new maps, with several other court battles over redistricting pending. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
And stocks sliding across the board after investors did not see any major tech deals from the U.S.-China summit. The Dow down 519 points. Crude oil is jumping. U.S. crude up 4% at $105 a barrel. America's listening. Fox News.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-1509, 800-555-1509, or biglou.com.
Paid for by term provider. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
This is Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Hour number 2 on this Friday, May 15th, with the team. You can stream us, podcast us, both at WJR.com or on the free WJR app. Facebook, YouTube pages are streaming us live right now, and we're thrilled to be between two great performers, entertainers, information folks. What did I they're newscasters? Oh, and then they're opinion casters, and no one better than WJR All Talk's Kevin Dietz and JR Evans' Ryan Armani. Marie Osborne in for Ryan today, as you're on your way to making each and every day count. Each day is a gift, and thanks for choosing to really be an important part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio. That goes for any show you listen to, not just ours, but we thank you for listening to ours along the way. And as Kim would remind us, QTR, nobody knows how much quality time remaining we have, so bear that in mind. Don't forget, Chuck and Ken, I love them. We're going to be with the Inside Outside guys tomorrow for yet another generous Victor's Home Solutions roof giveaway. The Inside Outside guys on from 10 to noon, and they've asked me to do a segment with them maybe near that end of noon, and then we'll be on noon to 1 with a special Paul W. Smith show as we continue here, doing our best to be the greatest we can to be coming to you and bringing you information and entertainment absolutely free of charge. I mentioned the team, Mike Parsons, Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski. But along with that, on Fridays, I like to mention, of course, Rieger's here. Rieger Reviews at Dave Rieger. Marie Osborne helps us out during the week. Ray Templin has been pushed into service. And, of course, our fearless leader, Ann Thomas, and my fearless leader, Kim Smith. Lovely Kim. Hey, I get this nice thing from a woman named Lynn Atzinger. She calls it Fun Fact Friday.
Oh, right. The debut was last week.
Yeah. And I'm happy to get it. And this is astonishing. She points out, you know how people flash the V sign? Seems like the Japanese kids mostly, but a lot of people
peace
still
sign?
do. Oh, don't do it like that.
Why?
Listen to this. Flashing the V sign, victory, peace sign, whatever you want to call it, or pointing at the camera can clearly expose your index and middle fingerprints to the lens, as you just did. Don't do that. You just did it again.
I know. Well, you know what, though? I'm broke, so if you steal my identity, that's your own fault. But
if they can give you a better identity.
Yeah.
So
I'm just trying to see.
Danielle's got both up, and she's doing it the right way. And the reason they say that is, believe
doing
it
it
or
the
not,
gangsta way.
digital forensics and cybersecurity experts confirm that hackers can now reconstruct your fingerprint from a high-resolution photograph. They can use specialized software or AI to extract the ridges and loops from the visible fingerprint, recreate a digital copy, and fabricate a fake physical print. What the?
Wow.
So now you have to think, if you're a peace sign giver, you have to do it with your digits facing you. Don't let them read your stuff.
Right. So I guess they could frame you for a crime or something.
Now they're going to recreate your fingernails, and then we're going to be told we just can't hold up our hands ever.
Right. So not even a thumbs up. Don't even get me started on a thumbs up.
Yeah, well, they can get that too. I don't know what they can do with it. I can tell you where they should stick it. The sun, did you know this? The sun makes a tremendous amount of noise.
No, but I would imagine if in space in a vacuum, you might not be able to hear that noise very well.
That is correct. You can't hear it.
I stole the identity of Bill Nye the Science Guy. That's how I know that.
Well, good job on that. All right. Keith Newell weighing in. He says, this is why I always wear gloves.
That's not suspicious. Sir, it's July.
In August, it looks bad, Keith. It just does. How about this? I get a message that FedEx tried to deliver something, and they'll try again tomorrow. I was home when they said they were trying to deliver.
Were you on the air?
Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what time it was.
Yeah.
But it just bothers me when things like that happen. Delivery should not be so very difficult, you know?
Right. It's like you have to. It's like the old, we'll be there between 6 and 12 a.m. or whatever.
Well, the people that advertise with me pretty much live up to what they say, which is always the way it seemed to me that they did. But I don't know. I don't like it when somebody says they're going to. Well, of course, I don't like it when somebody says they're going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not there.
Especially if you're waiting around all day and you can't start your day until whatever you ordered shows up.
Yeah, it's annoying. And that's why in a couple of commercials, I talk about people doing what they say, showing up when they say they will.
Right.
It matters a lot, frankly. I'm looking for something I can't find on my phone. What a surprise. Well, it's unfortunate. Okay. Anyway, so I'm happy that Lynn Atzinger sends this thing. She talks about an adult elephant's molar teeth. How much do you think an elephant's tooth weighs?
I've given it no thought. I'm going to guess 5 pounds off the top of my head.
That is an excellent guess.
Are you serious? Now, that was a pure guess.
An adult elephant's molar tooth typically weighs 5 to 9 pounds.
Oh, my.
Massive brick-sized teeth used for grinding tough vegetation. And they're replaced maybe 6 times throughout the elephant's lifetime.
Wow. So unlike people, we've got our baby teeth and adult teeth. They've got multiple sets of teeth.
Several elephant teeth.
Yeah.
This is interesting. You might think of the people who started Blockbuster Videos being pretty bright, and they were, obviously. They revolutionized home entertainment by replacing the mom-and-pop rental shops with a massive computerized inventory. Bright blue and yellow stores. They were founded in 1985, grew to 9,000 stores at its 2004 peak, largely driven by $800 million in annual late fees.
What a time.
So late fees. So I helped them grow. But here's the mistake they made. They famously or infamously declined to buy Netflix for $50 million in the year 2000. They had the money. $50 million. What is Netflix worth today? How many billions of dollars?
I mean, that many times over.
Wow. So meanwhile, there's one Blockbuster location still open in Bend, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's apparently, it's because in Bend, Oregon, they haven't heard that the other Blockbusters are gone. I don't know what it is.
Hey, it's a great Blockbuster. I've been there.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
They don't have internet out there, so they have to use.
Did they offer you like free lunch or dinner when you walked in? Hey, look, someone's here.
No, they were just excited to see us.
Someone under 50 is here. All right.
I miss that feeling of walking into a video store and just smelling the videotapes and all the possibilities.
I love the smell of videotapes in the morning. Oh, wait, that's not what the line was. Mike Rogers, Army veteran, businessman, Trump-endorsed candidate for U.S. Senate, leading the pack in a new poll. Leads all 3 Democrat opponents in a second poll this week. Mike has the momentum. I see that in my pile. The Trump-Xi summit ends on a cordial note. No breakthroughs announced, but I mean, 200 Boeing planes is if he just gets that, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know why the U.S. border chief abruptly resigned. That's just adding to their problems. Kevin Warsh confirmed to lead the Federal Reserve. Supreme Court allows abortion pill access by mail to continue. And the Washtenaw County Sheriff insists the joint found in in an SUV is not hers.
She was holding it for a friend.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. She didn't break any law one way or another.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know what the story is on that. And Super Bowl 2027 date could benefit U.S. employees. What's that quickly?
Because the day after is President's Day. So
so people don't have to call in sick.
Right. So
lie.
Right. This might be a new thing here. We might have found a solution to the debate over whether Super Bowl should be on Saturday or Super Bowl Monday should be a holiday.
Yeah, it should be on Saturday, I think. But this one we get a bye or a pass. 114. Right. Relentless Positive Radio. Focus with Paul W. Smith and the team as we continue on WJR. I just saw a note from our good friend Tricia Keith, the president and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. She, too, like many of us, are excited about the Sandy Baruah's 2026 Mackinac Policy Conference. And you have to know that the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is the diamond sponsor. And they're very excited to be there, and we're excited to have her on our show and all of that that's coming up. They just won another award, too, and I'll tell you more about that coming up. But I do want to mention something that's important to remember, that throughout the course of our lives, we all have those people who we can count on, people who would drop everything and rush to help us if we have a challenge to overcome. And I guess you would say that's the textbook definition of dependability. So now for 87 years plus, Michiganders have counted on Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan to stand behind us during life's biggest moments. Babies being born, broken bones being repaired, times when we need care that improves the quality and length of our lives. Do you know that Blue Cross pays more than $100 million every day? More than $100 million paid every day for the care of millions of us. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Tricia Keith, the team, the family, doing their work in partnership with doctors and hospitals, providing health insurance in every zip code. In all 83 Michigan counties, Blue Cross makes sure we get the care we need wherever and whenever we need it, thanks to their nationwide network of 2 million participating care providers, standing behind us every day for 87 years. When you can rely on a company to be there for you again and again and again, that, my friend, is dependability. That's Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Learn more about their work at mibluedaily.com. That's MI like Michigan, mibluedaily.com. You will be glad you did. It is 1:17 at 760 WJR.
After years of diving into the ups and downs of retirement planning, we've decided to change the name of our show, Expedition Retirement. Join us for Fire Your Financial Advisor, Saturdays at 3 and Sundays at 5 on News Talk 760 WJR.
The catcher. Squatting behind home, keeping those wild pitches from getting by. A good roof does the same. It protects a home from wild Michigan weather. An inferior catcher may cost you the game, but a bad roof may cost you your homeowner's insurance. If you or a loved one receives a letter from your insurance company regarding the age of your roof and your policy, don't wait. Act immediately. American Standard Roofing offers senior discounts or 0% interest for those who qualify. Protect your home team and visit AmericanStandardRoofing.com.
Detroit, the Tiger Sound of Summer postgame concert series presented by Rocket returns to Comerica Park for the 2026 season with a brand new all-star lineup. Following the game, June 19th, hip-hop legend Nelly hits the stage. July 24th, Flo Rida begins the party. And the series wraps up September 11th with country star Dustin Lynch. All game tickets include concert access with limited VIP field passes available. Learn more and get your tickets at tigers.com/sounds of summer.
No matter where you look, rising costs are hitting Michiganders hard. When you're forced to make tough choices, keeping the lights and heat on shouldn't be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy savings programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills today. Count on Consumers Energy for support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
We've got an accident on Livernois at 7 Mile Road. Construction slowing you down on the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. You're slow from the Davison. And some stop and go on M14 northbound between Miller Road and US 23. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today with a high of 71. Few passing clouds for tonight, a low of 55. Morning thunderstorms for Saturday. Cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 78. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high near 80. Right now, mostly cloudy and 63 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on Monday's All Talk, you're going to meet this week's All Talk All-Star. We have a deep dive into the top political and news stories breaking over the weekend. And, of course, we have to talk Pistons basketball as round 2 of the NBA playoffs closes out. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
Well, it's always nice to see who is listening, and we always appreciate you listening in. And you're joined by the likes of Sheriff Michael Bouchard, who, responding to my story just now, Mike Parsons, about the elephant teeth, listen to this little factoid. And I think he went with Pam, his wife. I think they went on a safari years ago. And he says about the elephant teeth, here's a really crazy thing about elephants. Once they go through their cycle of replacement teeth, they often die because they can no longer eat.
That's sad.
Their teeth are gone and they can't eat and they die as a result, which is why they get like 6 of them.
Right.
So cats have 9 lives, elephants have 6.
Right, and they can't just have like a protein shake like
no,
people.
And when the dentist tried to give them dentures, the dentists were killed. But other than that,
well, they didn't
you go give them dentures. I'm not doing that.
They didn't like the price.
Well, the price too was probably pretty high. All right. Happy Patrick Wright is going, what am I doing? What show is this? Who am I on with right now? Well, Patrick J. Wright is Vice President, Legal Affairs, the Mackinac Center for Public Policy, and the Michigan Court of Claims has granted a preliminary injunction in the Mackinac Center Legal Foundation's lawsuit challenging hidden earmarks in the state budget process. And Patrick, it wouldn't happen without you, once again, and the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
This case could have some major implications should have for Michigan budget earmarks. So tell me, what's going on here?
Well, in the last 5 years, there's been over $3 billion worth of earmarks that we think were unconstitutional. We sued about just 2 of them in order to make the suit work, and the Court of Claims said that we were correct. So we're very hopeful that the taxpayers have just gotten a big win and that we won't be dealing with billions of dollars of illegal earmarks anymore.
Explain that to people. The point is, it's what happens. I mean, in the simplest way that I can, and I'm a simpleton, so is it's we didn't have to say when I said I was a simpleton, Patrick. I know that we may not always agree on things, but anyway, you can't. People, what they're doing now is they're hiding money for other things in bills. That's what the earmarks are. And you're saying wisely, you can't get money hidden in there for, say, I'll use another place, Duluth, and then make everybody pay for it when it's only for Duluth.
Right. The Constitution prohibits these kind of local spending items unless both 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate vote for them. And so how they would get around this is that they would create the subterfuge of saying in a town of 100,000 to 101,000 people, in a county of 800,000 to 801,000 people, for place X, we're going to give them this amount of money. And they would say, well, that's not for a local purpose, because anybody could do that. They just have to meet those geographic parameters. And the court said, no, you're just trying to work your way around this constitutional prohibition, and you're trying to bring money back home to your district, and you haven't met the constitutional threshold. Knock it off. And we're hopeful that that will continue to stick, and that it will make it a lot harder in the future for state money to be spent on local matters. Every dollar that gets spent on somebody's home district is something where we can't fix what is perhaps statewide issues, perhaps dealing with university funding or the state highway system or paying down pension debts or things of that nature, because somebody wants a swimming pool built in their district.
Well, I tell you, it's not always comfortable to have something like this happen. For example, in part of this that you're fighting, the Michigan 2025 budget provided $1.5 million to privately owned Jimmy John's Field. And we love Jimmy John's Field and the guy behind it and everybody there. It's a wonderful story. And then $1 million to Jackson Field, I'm not as familiar with, which is run by a public entity owned by the city of Lansing. But as the Mackinac Center has put forward this compelling argument, the Michigan Constitution says what it says, and it requires that any public funding for, quote, local or private purposes, as you pointed out, Patrick, must be approved by 2/3 of all lawmakers. And that was not the case. That's where the term earmarks come from.
Correct. And so these can be done if there's wide agreement. But one of the major concerns, and this thing's been in the Constitution for over 100 years. But one of the main concerns is, recently we had one party in control, and they spent about 90% of the earmarks for their own people. And so, by doing this, the hope is that unless there's a gigantic bipartisan consensus that we need a lot of local spending, that we will keep earmarks out of our budget.
I know the Mackinac Center has long questioned the earmark process. Obviously, you're celebrating the injunction. We wish you well. I see in the story that 2 earmarks added to a state budget in 2022 resulted in criminal charges in the last year?
Yeah, there was a earmark for a cultural center, and the woman in charge of it, and I'm always scared to pronounce her last name. It's Faye Boudin.
Baydoun you're talking about?
Baydoun, that's who I'm talking about. Thank you.
Oh, that was an earmark?
That was an earmark. And so that was a $4 million earmark, if I remember correctly. It might have been a higher amount. And obviously it's turned into a very ugly situation for the MEDC, may still be charged, though some people there.
It was actually a $20 million grant to be an international business accelerator, and it turned out allegedly not to be that at all.
Correct. And so one of the things that's happened recently, and Speaker Hall led some of this process, was that he's now asking that earmarks be done before the budget gets voted on. So you have to have the earmark, and people have to be able to review it, which is an improvement. But that's a determination that the House does year by year, or the Senate does, if they agree to it, and it's not a constitutional provision. And so we would like there just to be less earmarks, period. And if they want to improve the process for making sure that these things are properly vetted and we don't have more situations where we've got a $20 million grant leading to 16 criminal charges, then, we would have that as well. So both are improvements. One of them is constitutional and can't ever be waived by the legislature.
Patrick J. Wright, Vice President, Legal Affairs for the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. Thanks for setting the record straight and helping us understand what's going on behind the scenes. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure. We continue in focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR, and it's coming up. Rieger reviews it. Stay with us. How's your back? How's your knee? How's your sciatica? Eesh. I just spoke to Dr. Saul Kogan last night at the Nerve and Disc Institute, and he's thrilled that he can help you get outside and enjoy your favorite activities with his non-surgical, non-invasive treatments for severe and chronic back, neck, and knee pain. Intra-disc neutrosis helps people with spinal stenosis, bulging and herniated discs, sciatica pain, and degenerative disc disease avoid spine surgery. And Knee Restore RX helps those with osteoarthritis and meniscus tears avoid knee replacement without shots, pills, or downtime. In fact, here are the real words from a real patient. I quote, "I had an L5-S1 disc bulge that I've had since my early 20s and would be limping every time I played pickleball. A coach said his back was fixed without surgery by Dr. Saul Kogan. So I started getting treatments. And after 2 months, I'm pain-free. The results are nothing short of miraculous." End of quote. Mention WJR this month in May and get a consultation, an exam, an X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit. Just $49 for a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment. Just $49 for your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and now Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC. You'll be so glad you did. 586-416-DISC, which works out to be 586-416-3472. 586-416-3472. 130, 760, WJR.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-777-1979, 800-777-1979, or biglou.com.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
I'm here with Greg Ayler, host of Expedition Retirement. Greg, you say when you get near retirement, the issues become more complicated than just saving and investing, such as?
What's going to happen tax-wise to my IRA? What if my spouse goes into a long-term care facility? What if the market crashes? These are the things that are the requirement and basically the backbone of every good retirement plan.
Expedition Retirement, Sundays at 5 on News Talk 760 WJR.
Michigan, it's time to hit the links for a legendary cause. The All-Pro Legend is back. The second annual Lomas Brown Golf Classic. Last year was just a warm-up. Monday, July 13th, join Lomas and his celebrity crew for a premier day of golf, networking, and community impact. Every swing helps the Lomas Brown Jr. Foundation empower our youth through education and fitness. Don't get left in the rough. Register your foursome or secure your sponsorship now at LomasBrownGolfClassic.com. And see you on the fairway.
I'm Pastor Darren Weiss, CEO of Grace Centers of Hope. One of the best ways we can make a difference in our community is by volunteering together. At Grace, we could use your help. Families, churches, schools, workplaces, everyone has something to offer to serve side by side and bring hope to those in need. Whether you prepare a meal or help us rehab a home, your time will have a lasting impact. It strengthens communities and brings people closer together. Call 855-HELP-GCH or go to gracecentersofhope.org.
My name is Jenny Brown. I am the CEO of Dutton Farm. We are a nonprofit in the behavioral health system. One of the things that we are so grateful for in our partnership with Tryon is the absolutely incredible customer service that anytime we have a question or a concern, we can call up the customer service department and we'll get an immediate and effective answer.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Many people seem to be incubating a rage, looking for somewhere to go. Are there times when you think the country's out of control? You see all these things and you wonder, what in the world is going on? Was it this way 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Do we have the will or not? But we are Americans, and I believe we absolutely do have the will. I do this show for you. And when you're not interested in it anymore, I will just go away.
The Mike Levin Show.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Thank you, Mr. Levin. Boy, we haven't talked to Mark in a long while. Glad things are going well for him. Hope things are going well for you. And here's a good tip. When it comes to outdoor power equipment, you're never on your own. Since 1945, Weingart's customers and communities have trusted Weingart's for expert advice. That's why they stand behind Cub Cadet lawn and garden equipment, designed with comfort, control, and versatility in mind. Cub Cadet makes it easy to take care of your lawn with smooth handling, responsive steering, powerful performance. These tractors and zero-turn mowers will help you easily handle all of your yard work. Built with exceptional value and proven reliability, Cub Cadet delivers the performance you need with the comfort you'll appreciate every time you mow. From equipment, parts, repairs, and at-home service, Weingart's is there every step of the way. Stop by their stores, where Weingart's experts help you choose the right Cub Cadet for your lawn. You can visit them online, too, at weingarts.com. That's easy. WEINGARTZ, weingarts.com, during their Time to Mow event, which just happens to be going on right now. Expert solutions, honest value, easy ownership. One of the great philanthropic families of our time and our area. That's the Weingarts family, and that, my friends, is the Weingarts way. We continue in Focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR at 1:36.
Well, we know your Detroit Pistons continue their quest for an NBA championship. Make sure you leave it here on 760 WJR for all your Pistons information.
Focus is Paul W. Smith and Jamie Edmonds.
Cade Cunningham has cemented himself as the MVP player that we always knew he was.
Yeah, and you know what? Cade has proven that he's a number one. There's been some, criticism of him when he first got here that he's not a number one. He absolutely is a number one.
Just to let you know, from morning until night, we're talking about your Detroit Pistons. Everything you need to know. Leave it here on 760 WJR. Go Pistons!
And now, WJR is proud to present Rieger Reviews It,
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
featuring film critic Dave Rieger.
Suddenly, Dave has a great job.
Sponsored by Wiggly's.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Well, indeed, Rieger Reviews It is sponsored by Wiggly's famous Eastern Market corned beef. Dine in or carry out the best Wiggly's corned beef sandwiches around at Frank's Deli and Grill. Frank's Deli and Grill, 3405 Russell Street. What a great family. In Detroit's Eastern Market. They're open every day from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And while you're there, be sure to say hi to Victor, the owner, and his sons, too. Everybody. You see, Victor and the whole family loves their customers as much as the corned beef. Frank's Deli and Grill, 3405 Russell Street, Detroit's Eastern Market. Now, and this is a first for me, live from his garage sale, the one the one and only Dave Rieger, and Rieger reviews it.
Not my garage sale. Renee Vitale, who does traffic for us in the morning, her garage sale, she's just letting me rent some space.
Well, this is way too complicated to get into now and not cut into your time for your actual new job, which isn't so new anymore, but it's a great job. Yeah. So I'm not going to ask any further details on how Dave Rieger somehow gets out of coming into the studio because of Renee Vitale's garage sale. This is getting crazy. All kinds of firsts for me, and I've been here 50 years. All right, Dave, let's talk about, well, first of all, review the garage sale. Has it been going well? Should we all jump in the car and get over there? What's going on?
I have to tell you, I am shocked at least the stuff that I have sold. It's been very profitable. It's crazy how we're talking old books. They're selling old books. It is 2026, right? Shot glasses, my shot glass collection, which is now dwindling, and my mom's old costume jewelry. It's done very well. It's very interesting.
I'm very happy. Can you give us an address on where the garage sale is taking place?
Well, it's somebody's house, so I don't know if we should.
So,
Okay, all right, whatever.
But anyway, but let's just say,
Mike, does that mean you don't want to give the address on the air? Our listeners may want to know if some people are devoted garage sale.
We'll just say that.
Okay, all right. Let's get to work here. Obsession in theaters. What do you think?
I got to tell you, this movie going in, based off of just watching the trailer, I thought, come on, this is just another one of those horror movies. But this movie was really, really good. It tells the story of a kid named Bear. He's deeply infatuated with his longtime childhood friend and coworker, Nikki, but he's too kind of, shy to really tell her how he feels. So he goes into a novelty shop and buys something called a One Wish Willow, which gives you one wish. And the one wish is he wants her to become in love with him and infatuated with him more than anyone else in the world. Unfortunately, things go south because she becomes obsessed in a bad way, and it's not good.
So do not pick up a One Wish Willow if you see one at their garage sale today. Let's listen to Obsession.
Have you ever actually flirted with Nikki?
I'm gonna go get some shots.
I'll come with you if she means this much to you. And I know she does. To say, Nikki, I think we should grab a drink sometime.
Nikki, wait. I was gonna ask you.
What?
I lost my train of thought.
Hi.
Good night. What else?
Why?
One wish, Willow. You only get one wish. I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
Okay, that doesn't hold my attention at all. Oh, it's not over? Oh, geez.
It starts to get a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it seems to be going. Their promos longer than the movie should be. So, what did you give Obsession? How many?
I'm going to tell you, I really love this movie. I thought it was great. It took me in different directions. I'm going to give it 3.5 Wigglies. It was very good. Wow. You might not think from the trailer that it has anything to offer, but it is crazy. It's really good.
Okay, 3.5 Wigglies for Obsession in the theaters. Now, if you're staying home, you want to watch on Netflix, I got to believe this one's good. Marty, Life is Short. Let's listen.
I'll tell you something about Marty. Let's say you're going to host a dinner party, and you invite Marty.
I loved you in Home Alone. You're wonderful.
And then it turns out Marty can't come. You cancel the party.
In this business, in the world of comedy, there's nobody faster.
You used to do circus work. I was a freak for a while.
There's nobody smarter.
Just because the eyes are so dull doesn't mean that there's not a machinery of wheels clicking away.
There's nobody funnier.
Say something funny.
Oh, you're the guy.
I feel like he could improvise to eternity, couldn't he?
Well, I mean, what's not to like about Martin Short?
Oh, this movie was this documentary, very well done. What I did not know is that he started out as pre-med and then shifted over to comedy. He's been in, so many famous movies, obviously, Three Amigos, Father of the Bride, Only Murders in the Building, which is his most recent thing that he's done with Steve Martin and Selena Gomez. He's had some tragedy in his life.
Oh, my gosh.
But,
he had so much tragedy in his life. He joked that when he was growing up, they had the funeral home on speed dial at his house.
Yes. Yeah.
But imagine his bedside manner had he become a doctor.
I think it would have been great because most actors don't have any sort of personality. He would have been wonderful.
Well, there are some doctors with personalities, but they have created that kind of image. Okay, so we like Marty. Life is short. I hope you give it. Well, I hope you give it at least as many Wigglies as Obsession.
This one definitely gets 3.5, and I think people will love it. Martin Short fans will love it. Fans of comedy, sketch comedy. It's great.
All right, we'll let you go back to the garage sale, even if it isn't even your garage sale. It's Renee Vitale's garage sale.
He's garage sale squatting.
There's a big explanation due on this one, but there it is. Thank you very much. You always do a great job. Dave Rieger with Rieger Reviews It, and brought to you by the great Wiggly's famous Eastern Market corned beef and in Frank's Deli and Grill on Russell Street. They're the best. We continue in Focus at 1:45 on WJR. Well, I'm happy to tell you about this story. Mike Fallahy, who he's been, I've known him for a very long time. I've had work done at my house over the years, really. Mike has developed into a good friend. His family's been running Mary Grove in Detroit for over 90 years. 90 years. And that certainly means they've been building shade in this town before many companies even existed. In fact, many companies came and went during the time they've been in business. They still do it the Detroit way. Strong, precise, built to last. Mary Grove only makes motorized awnings, no crank handles, no gimmicks. Hit the remote, instant shade. Rain coming in, adjust the pitch. Sun goes down, built-in LED lights. Wind kicks up, add the sensor, it rolls in automatically. Premium framing, fully enclosed housing to protect the fabric, backed by a 10-year warranty. All of that separates them, but here's something else that really separates them. Mary Grove can often complete the entire process in as little as 48 hours. That's not 6 weeks. That's not we'll get back to you. They can do it in as little as 48 hours. No third-party installers, no dealer games. Real Mary Grove employees start to finish. I've liked everything they've done in any of my homes. They've done a great job. If you're going to put something on your home or in it, make it something built by a Detroit legendary company that's been doing it right for over 90 years. Go to marygrove.com, or call them at that easy-to-remember number, 1-800-44-AWNING. 1-800-44-AWNING. Schedule your free in-home appointment. Tell them Paul W. sent you. Detroit tough, 90 years strong, 1-800-44-AWNING. or marygrove.com. 147 at WJR.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-777-1979, 800-777-1979, or biglou.com.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Did you know only 40% of people get to choose when they retire? To reduce fear and to understand if you have what you need to give you what you want in retirement, the charity has learned after teaching tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million, you have to educate yourself and prepare now. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're retiring within 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at major universities and colleges in your area. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from which accounts at what age to minimize taxes and reduce the chances of outliving your money. Join us for our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement course to learn how to retire earlier, spend more, and reduce your anxiety. To find a course in your area, go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. These courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Treetops Resort. Treetops' 5 distinguished courses mean every round lives up to its promise. Spectacular. Layer in the unlimited golf stay and play package, and the value becomes impossible to ignore. Quality, quantity, and consistency. Honestly, it's one of the best golf deals in Michigan. To book, call 888-TREETOPS. We've got a wreck on I-696 westbound after the lodge that's blocking both of your shoulders. M14 northbound between Miller Road and US 23, looking a bit sluggish. A disabled vehicle blocks your 2 right lanes on I-94 westbound at the lodge. You stop and go from Mount Elliott Street there. And we still have some slowdowns on I-94 eastbound between I-96 and Van Dyke. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 71. A few passing clouds for tonight will drop down to 55. Morning thunderstorms for Saturday. Cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 78. A mix of sun and clouds Sunday with a high near 80. Right now, mostly cloudy and 63 degrees. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, it's been big news around here that once again we have a population in Detroit growing, but it's a national news story, and we're thrilled that it is. Fox News correspondent, WJR contributor extraordinaire, Jeff Manasso is here, and we're pretty excited about our population growth, Jeff.
Hey, my friend, happy Friday. It's great news. I mean, you're the latest census report showing large cities, by and large, people are leaving them, and they're going to smaller towns and places where there's more space and where living is more affordable. There's more housing stock. But from my numbers, what I'm seeing, a 0.8% increase last year, and the third straight year of people moving into Detroit. I mean, that means something. That's huge, and you guys are moving up in the big world. To the 26th most populous city in the US.
What is it again?
26th.
Okay. Well, and we've given a lot of credit and credit is due to Mike Duggan, who's no longer mayor, but now running for governor in the great state of Michigan as an independent. And he staved off nearly 7 decades of decline.
Yeah. So
that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's been to Detroit in the last 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, it's noticeable. Even if you don't live there, you can tell that the city's improved. And economically, politically, all that. I'll leave that stuff to the pundits. But even just the visual, for people like me that are rarely there, but every couple of years, you can tell that there's a huge improvement, particularly down near the ballparks in that whole area.
Jeff Manasso, Fox News correspondent, WJR contributor, who didn't do well? What big city we would certainly know did poorly in this information?
Yeah, New York City was the biggest loser with this is all U.S. Census numbers, with over 12,000 people fleeing the city between 2024 and 2025, according to their census or according to their information, followed by L.A., Dallas, Boston, San Francisco. Memphis lost about 4,700 residents, and this is topping the list of where people were going. And Texas really dominated. Their fastest growing cities and small towns, places like Salina and Princeton and other areas around Dallas, Fort Worth. Dallas itself in that list is one of the biggest losers, but Houston, suburban Houston as well. Again, more Americans are moving to the outer suburbs, and they're looking for affordability. They're looking for housing and a good place to raise their kids.
Which is no surprise then why New York City, L.A., and San Francisco especially have lost numbers. We've made it national news. Detroit continues now 3 years in a row to have growth, which is, considering we lost residents for nearly 7 decades. Thanks for carrying the torch for us. Jeff Manasso, Fox News correspondent, WJR contributor. We appreciate it, Jeff.
Have a great weekend, my friend.
You have a great weekend as well. We're certainly hoping our Pistons start the weekend off right tonight in Cleveland. Tomorrow, be tuned in. I hope you can. I am thrilled to be with Chuck and Ken, the Inside Outside guys, at the Victor's Home Solutions roof giveaway, the very generous roof giveaway. That's tomorrow. The Inside Outside guys from 10 to noon. I will follow them from noon to 1, and certainly looking forward to that. Thanks to the team. Mike Parsons, Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski, Dave Rieger, Marie Osborne, Ray Templin, Ann Thomas, and my Kim Smith, and especially to you. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. I told you we'll always try to wish you a happy birthday. And be here and tuned in all week and all weekend long. Hey, Mike, I got a quick one for you. If you're still there.
Yeah,
Mike.
go ahead.
I used to think orthopedic shoes were overrated.
Yeah.
But I stand corrected. That's a little humor for our friend Norm Johnson and his lovely wife, Kathy, who've gone on a number of cruises with us. Norm Johnson owns a little shoe store. I wish I had the name right in front of me. I don't. But Norm Johnson, wife, Kathy, I thought he'd get a kick out of that. He's a great shoe guy who saved me once with my feet. Go Pistons. Have a great weekend. We'll look forward to being